Good morning, Mornings Park, and welcome to another episode of Talking Wellness, your weekly health and wellness talk show. Today, the week of August 24th, I'm your host, Robert Sorensen, Director of Wellness, and I'm fortunate enough to be joined today by Kelly Russo, one of our exercise specialists on staff.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Kelly, to the show. Bring your mic a little bit closer, just so that we make sure that our guests can hear us, make sure that there's no lost voice communication.
We don't want that.
Because we know everything that we're saying is very, very important, and we don't want you to miss a beat. So for this week, we'll be speaking on a topic of something that Kelly just recently completed. Kelly went through a very comprehensive training over multiple days and actually over multiple months, where there was some pre-requirements before the training to become a Best Friends Master Trainer. Is that right?
Yes, it was a lot of work, a lot of hard work, but very gratifying work.
That's what we appreciate here at Mornings Park, is hard work and gratifying work. Because anything that is worth doing, we want to work hard to accomplish it.
Absolutely.
So did I get that title right? Is it the Best Friends Master Trainer?
Yes, that is it.
So let's share a little bit of background information for those who might not know or understand what the Best Friends Master Trainer and the Best Friends approach to caregiving is all about.
Okay. Well, the Best Friends approach was developed by David Troxel and Virginia Bell back in the 1980s, 1990s. They worked in a healthcare setting out in Kentucky, and they realized, working with dementia care residents, that there was a big lack in the field. So with our Alzheimer's residents and dementia, we're seeing more and more people with this disease, they came up with a new approach to help with caregiving. So it's called the Best Friends Approach to Dementia Care. It's world-renowned. It's developed through efficacy and compassion. The approach to dementia care taps into the essential elements of friendship. So essentially, what the title is.
Yeah.
It's you're being a best friend to the person that has dementia or Alzheimer's disease, cognitive issues.
And I think one of the coolest things about that is anybody can be a best friend, or at least act the way that a best friend would act.
Absolutely.
I can be a best friend to you any given day of the week, and what helps support being a best friend is a little bit knowledge about the resident, which we'll get a little bit more into detail in a couple minutes here. To share a little bit of the history of it at Mornings Park, over at Orchid Terrace, before there was Lilac Care, there was something that was just called the Lilac Library. It was a very open area. There was a big library in the middle. It wasn't the closed-off memory care unit that our memory care neighborhood that we know of it as now. And back in, I believe, about 2013, 2014, there was the decision made to remodel that space. And during that time, Celeste Lynch went out and did some investigating and found this Best Friends approach to caregiving. And Mornings Park communicated directly with David Troxel and brought him in as a consultant on how to bring that Best Friends approach to caregiving to our residents.
Right. And we use it every day here at Mornings Park, and we've all had a little bit, somewhat of some training with the Best Friends approach. And it does help with providing care to all of our residents, not just our residents in the memory care units. It works throughout the whole campus.
Yeah, the general description and outline of the Best Friends approach is ingrained into our culture through every single job description. There are requirements that we have to adhere to as a Mornings Park partner to represent and to demonstrate that we understand the Best Friends approach for caregiving at all levels of care. So this is present in independent living, assisted living, and especially in our skilled nursing facility, where I believe we have the highest rate of those Alzheimer's disease or related dementias.
Right. you treat the person as an individual, not a person with dementia issues or cognitive issues. So it's a wonderful approach to use because there is a person inside there. And we use everyone has a life story. We love everybody to come forward and tell us their life story, and sometimes we have to encourage that on our part here. But I know in my field, being an exercise specialist, just personal training, I ask people about their life story. So I learn more about them, and they do become a friend to me. So then I can relate to them better.
Yeah, I think that's a great example of how we use it in wellness, the best friends approach. We work and we interact with and we see the same residents multiple times per week. And you and I, being the longest acting wellness staff members, we've built relationships over closing in on 10 years.
Right.
And by becoming so close with some of the residents and knowing their story, knowing their history, we know if they're having a bad day, and we know what to speak to them about to try to boost their mood, or if something's off, we know what questions to ask. And that's the general idea of the best friends approach
Right.
when used in an advanced setting like assisted living or skilled nursing.
Yes, and especially when it comes to the memory care unit, each individual person that lives in that unit has their life story posted in their apartment. So any person who is working with them, whether you're used to working with them or not, you can look at their life story and be able to carry on a conversation with them. So it puts their mind, the person with the dementia, they're more comforted, they feel secure, they feel safe. They may not recognize you, but they'll feel safe, secure, and friendly, just a friendly atmosphere. So they're more apt to be willing to communicate with you, do things easier. And the term that we use in the Master Trainer program is you have the knack. Anyone can have the knack here at Moorings Park to work with someone with dementia. And the knack is to be able to do things with ease, take something difficult and make it easier on you and the person with dementia. So for an example, like a resident who has dementia or cognitive issues could feel lonely, scared, confused on a daily basis. So they start to self-isolate themselves, and we don't want that. We know that socialization is one of the best things for someone with memory issues, and to keep them involved, keep them active. So we refer to the life story, and we know their likes, their dislikes, maybe their family history, where they're from, what their profession was, what their hobbies were, and we could strike up a conversation with them, get them interested in what's going on, and then get them to, be able to get out of their room and have some fun and enjoy.
So let's do a little role play for the sake of demonstrating how the knack might be utilized. Say, for example, I'm a Moorings Park resident. I do have mid-stages of Alzheimer's, so I have some significant memory impairments. I'm living in Lilac Care, and you're somebody who's trying to come and get me out to participate in exercise class.
Okay, so.
And I'm being very stubborn. I don't want to come out and participate. How might the knack be used to get me out of my room?
So I would look, if I didn't know Robert, I would look at his life story. I could also communicate with the other staff, because the other staff should be familiar with your life story. Once looking at his life story, I would know that he's an avid exerciser, loves to exercise, loves to be outside, enjoys some socialization, has traveled many places. So I would start with that. So I would give a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Hello?
Who is it?
It's your friend Kelly.
Kelly who?
It's Kelly from the Wellness Department.
Oh, Kelly, come on in.
Hello, my friend Robert. It's a beautiful day outside.
Oh, I haven't been out there yet. I've been
Oh.
just sitting in bed all morning.
Well, you know what? How about we get you ready for the day? There is a beautiful butterfly garden down the road. We could take a stroll down there and check it out. It's sunny out, it's warm. You love to exercise. I know you love to exercise. Let's go for a stroll together.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. Where are my shoes at?
Oh, I have a couple pairs right here. Let's see what I can find for you.
Oh, if we're gonna be exercising, I should probably wear the exercise
Yeah, I
shoes.
think these sneakers, but I know you have several pairs because your family members told me you love to wear your sneakers, and I know you have several pairs here. Let's see what I can find. Oh, look, I have a blue pair and a red pair. Which one would you like to wear today?
I'm more partial to red. That's more of a favorite color of mine. Let's put
okay.
those on.
So let's go with the red ones.
Lace my shoes up. All right, Kelly, I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Let me guide you down the road here. Let's go check out those butterflies. We'll get our exercise in. Let's see how many steps it takes us to get from your room to the butterfly
Oh, that
garden.
sounds like a challenge. Now I'm really into it.
And I know you love a challenge because you ran several marathons throughout your life history, and I just know you've worn out lots of sneakers. So we're going to try to wear this pair out.
Awesome. So yeah, it's not overly complicated, but there are definite steps involved to implementing this type of encouragement
Yes.
for
And
the resident.
what we were taught in the Master Trainer program too, which I thought was nice, you're always going to come upon that situation where they're going to be like, no, I don't want to go. And they might be having a bad day. You have to take 30 seconds. Our job here at Moorings Park and as caregivers is to take that 30 extra seconds to figure out how can I help this person? How can I make it a more personable experience, more friendly experience, and get their confidence and trust?
So using that example, it could have been very easy for me to dug my heels in and said, I don't want to, and just stuck
Right.
with that. But then we fall back to that program, that training on some of the other areas that we might focus in on.
Right, and there's also, we tell everybody, you might get a no straight out. And it's difficult when they say, no, I don't want to do it. Give them time. Give them a little moment, try another approach, try another avenue, see if that works. They have the right to say no again, but give it a third shot. And even if you have to walk away and come back and reapproach the person, and give it another shot. Try 3 times, and usually by the third time, they are starting to recognize you and feel comfortable and know that you're caring.
It's all about taking that person-centered or
Person-centered approach,
treat
friendly
everyone
approach.
as an individual. She may have recognized on that little life story outside my door that my favorite color was red.
Right.
That could have been something that could have
Oh,
played into
and
the shoe decision.
I gave you simple choices, the blue pair or the red pair. Now, they may just say, oh, I can't do it. I don't know which one to pick. Like, how do I know which one feels better? And that confusion goes through their mind, and that can give them anxiety and stress. So then the caregiver would say, well, you know, I do know that you like red, so how about we go with the red pair? Or blue, if you want blue. Blue goes with your eyes. You have beautiful blue eyes. Why don't we try the blue pair today? I know in the past you said they were very comfortable. So keep it simple, give them options, but don't make it too complex.
And any one of those things trying to further the conversation with me as a resident, and 5-10 seconds of effort, but it could make a significant change in the
Right.
course of the day of somebody with Alzheimer's.
Absolutely. And another thing that I learned was that you have to be able to change ideas in a split second. So you may have a whole beautiful program planned for your memory care group, and it may not go as planned, and you have to be prepared for that. And just don't sweat the small stuff. Just say, okay, you know what? We're not going to do that today. Let's do this, because I know that you really like this, and change avenues. And that's also what having the knack is.
And I just love how much that overlaps with exercise in our area. The residents who come in, we never know what version of a Mr. Smith is going to show up on
Right.
any given day. Could be the Mr. Smith with a shoulder pain, a Mr. Smith with a knee pain. So always having a plan B, being able to think creatively.
Think out of the box, and you have to be a detective. That's another hat that we put on as, I know in our profession in wellness, but especially with the best friends approach, you have to be ready to look at this person. Oh, they're not acting the same today. What's going on? Is it a medical issue? Are they not feeling well? Did they not get enough sleep? Or maybe, you know, it's got nothing to do with them personally, but it's a family member, someone that, you know, that's not here right now. Their kids, their significant other, something's going on with them and it affects them.
There is always a reason for a behavior.
Right.
That's our position on the day-to-day. Somebody isn't acting right. We might not know what the
What it
reason
is.
is, but we're going to try to dig it out of you. So for my own interest, I love learning about types of training. So maybe you can share a little bit what the couple of days spent involved in the training entailed.
Okay. So this training was supposed to be done in Arizona, and I was going to go to the campus there. There was about 20 of us, 20 master trainers to be, that were there. We all had to take a post-test before even getting accepted into the program. So once you're accepted, then normally you would go on a retreat for 3 days that was interactive, a lot of lectures, a lot of note-taking, and then on the third day, everyone gave a 10-minute presentation. And we didn't know what our presentation was going to be up until that point. So that was, you know, a little stressful, but it was good because it kept us all engaged and on our toes. So we each gave a presentation for 10 minutes, which counted for a big portion of our grade. And then we had a post-test that normally I would have taken there, but this was all done via Zoom, which was a new experience for me. And I told you, Robert, that I was a little apprehensive at first to be doing things all online, but it worked out wonderfully because I could stay here, do my personal training, work with my residents, and then also take this course. So it was a long 3 days, but worth it.
The travel associated with trainings like this, sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not so nice. And you've got that day prior to and the day afterwards where you're just ready to be back home in Naples. And that's one of the benefits, I think, of all of these Zoom technologies that are coming into play is we traditionally have all of our conferences in the fall.
Right.
Now they've all been transitioned to Zoom webinars.
And I was very thankful that I was able to do that because I wanted to do this training. And it worked out very well. And the trainers even asked us, how did we all feel? And every single one of us was like, we were a little apprehensive at first, but this was great. It was wonderful. And we felt that we really learned a lot. We had to interact a lot during the course of the 3 days. So I love anything that's hands-on, interacting, and like role-playing.
We learn by doing.
We learn by doing, absolutely. And they kept stressing, you know, after usually 10 to 15 minutes of a lecture, we've lost our whole audience. So you have to keep it going and keep it exciting. And that's what I loved about the training.
So moving beyond that, we can speak a little bit about the plans using your education through the training. Kelly is the individual who runs the majority of our brain enrichment programs, our cognition-based programs. good amount of our support groups for those with Parkinson's disease, amongst other things. So I think these 3 days that you spent being educated and becoming more well-versed in the disease is really going to cater in well to those.
Oh, absolutely. My mind was going the whole time I was in there, how can I bring it back to Moorings Park? And one of the main things that I plan on doing is bringing it to the caregiver support groups, because I think that is important. Because it's not just me train, I will bring it back to our staff and our partners here at Moorings Park, but it's also good to bring it back to the caregivers and the loved ones of these people that are there to support their spouses, the people they're caring for with the dementia. They need to be educated, so I look forward to having some in-services with them. Sharing it. Yesterday I had a Parkinson's caregiver support group, and I used a little bit of that Best Friends training with them. So it's going to help in all avenues here at Moorings Park.
Although we don't experience it in our personal lives, we see it in the lives of the caregivers, how frustrating and how consuming working with those with the disease can be. So being able to educate residents on how to not only use that with their spouses, but with other residents, I think that's going to be time well spent.
Yes, definitely.
In a number of different ways.
Because they come to us for they can always come, all of you can always come to us with questions. We may not always have the answers, but we'll find an answer and a solution for you. And I think taking this training was very, very helpful for me.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops over the course of the next several months and the years to come.
Yes, absolutely.
So Kelly now joins the rank of a number of other master trainers within the Moorings Park community. I know she was joined by Karen Norbeck, one of our marketing individuals who works primarily over in the assisted living
and the memory care
and memory care units. So Karen also successfully passed her master training exam.
Yeah, we're very happy. We both enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to it carrying over in our daily jobs here at Moorings Park. So,
Celeste Lynch was also involved in the master training way back when we transitioned the Lilac Library into the Lilac neighborhood. She was the first to become certified. I believe we have Becky Bierman, who's a master trainer through Orchid Terrace activities. And then it doesn't stop there. It goes cross-campus. We have individuals at our Gray Oaks and at our Grand Lake facility who are also master trainers.
Right.
So anywhere that the residents reside, anywhere their partners work, we're able to share the details involved in this programming and really try to make it part of our culture for the long haul.
Right. Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
I appreciate your time being able to share that experience. And again, we'll keep all the residents involved as new programs unfold. So keep your eyes out on the newsletter for any sort of cognition-based programming or in-house services offered through wellness.
You know we're always coming up with new ideas.
That's why we're simply the best.
That's right.
Now, we've both been involved in a number of different trainings over the time that we've been working with Moorings Park, and maybe even before working with Moorings Park. We've traveled, we've gone to conferences, we've had in-services, we've had more certification courses than I care to count. Do you have any one that might stick out in memory as being your favorite?
I really enjoyed this last one, but another, I know we've talked in length about that, but another one that I really enjoyed, and it was recent, two of them. The Parkinson's wellness training that I did, the PWR training, because it is hands-on, it is interactive. I love hands-on interactive things, so you get to do them, you get to experience them the way that we can bring it back and share it with our residents. So we've already experienced it, so we know what they're going to be doing and feeling. So I love anything like that, and I try every time that I do a certification or go to a class, like I said before, you do get bored sitting there and listening. I know you've all been there, to have a teacher or a professor that sits in lectures. It's not fun. You want to experience it, you want to be part of it, it keeps you engaged, it keeps you enthused. So I like to take chunks of different trainings that I've done and put them all together and just list them. And whenever I feel like I need something new, I look back at that list and I'll say, oh, you know, I'm going to introduce this and try this out and see how my class responds to it and bring that experience back here. But
Yeah, and that same train of thought, I would encourage you to stay in touch with those other master trainers that you went through the certification and check in with them a couple months out from now. See what they're doing, see what they've found that works
what
really
works
well.
and what doesn't work.
Were there any other wellness-oriented individuals involved?
No, I was the only wellness one in the group. There was a lot of activities, there was a lot of marketing, there was CEOs. So it was interesting to see that I was the only wellness person
Yeah,
there. So.
but it's appropriate at all levels of care.
And they kept asking, like, how do you use it? And I would bring it right back to our personal training. And even in my brain enrichment classes, one of the first things we do is introduce each other and learn about each other. And that's how you can relate to people and be able to remember their names and call on them and strike up conversations with them. So they were amazed at the things that we were doing. And again, that goes back to us being simply the best.
So whenever we're working one-on-one with the residents, we're not just asking questions for the sake of asking questions. We're cataloging all of this information into our own memory bank for a rainy day.
Right.
We might have you come in on a Monday morning and you're a grumpy clown. We want to turn that frown upside down.
Right.
I'm sorry for
We
going
always
out.
want to change any negative situation, try to make it into a positive situation and help you leave with a smile. Because we want to be smiling all day long too. It makes life simpler. It makes it easier. It makes our job more
Complete.
complete. And we enjoy it.
So we appreciate every time that we get to learn about the residents. And again, it's not for no reason. We're adequately and consistently implementing programs really based on what we get to know about you. So
Right.
continue to share with us, and we enjoy sharing with you as well. So to recap, that has been our episode of Talking Wellness for the week of August 24th. Our topic of the week was Kelly's recent passing of her Best Friends Approach to Caregiving Master Trainer Certification. A lot in the pipeline with that. It sure is. I think that's the longest certification title that I know of. And we'll be back with you again next week, whether you're watching this live on channel 2501 or anywhere else on the internet, because we do get around.
We do.
Until then, I'm Robert Sorensen.
And I'm Kelly Russo.
Be well, Morning Spark.